Hello everyone, welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. In this session, we'll be talking about 7/9/2022 newspaper. So let's quickly get into the newspaper and I would request you to make notes for all the issues that I'll be dictating. So now, as I was telling you from last 3 days, Bangladesh Prime Minister is going to come, and whenever she comes, all the agreements between the countries are extremely important. And today, that agreements has to be written in your notes. So the first major thing is just remember there are 51 rivers flowing from India to Bangladesh, and few argue it is 54, but overall rivers entering into Bangladesh is 54. That is including the rivers coming from Myanmar. So you can say always whenever you write in mains, just try to ensure that you write more than 50 rivers. So that is good enough. So Bangladesh tries to say that India is one of the most important and closest neighbor with whom we have one of the longest border. Remember, Bangladesh has longest border, or India has longest border with Bangladesh, and both the countries have agreed to sign a series of agreements. Remember, 1996, for the first time, we signed an agreement over Ganges Water Treaty, which was for a period of 30 years, and that will be ending in 2026. And these people want to talk about that issue as well. Apart from that agreement, on Kushiara, you can see here Kushiara, which supplies water to Lower Assam as well as Bangladesh, is being signed now. So India and Bangladesh have signed an agreement. So they are making an agreement on Kushiara, which is extremely important, guys. The river is very, very important for you today. So there is a possibility of questions being asked about Kushiara River. Fine. Then the second most important thing is about electricity. So India is helping Bangladesh to produce 1320 megawatt of Maitri power plant, and this power plant is coal fired thermal power plant. Most of it is being funded by India itself. So in this, guys, I want you to write about in Indo-Bangladesh relations itself, Kushiara, Kushiara River supplies water to Kushiara River supplies water to Lower Assam as well as Sylhet in Bangladesh. Sylhet in Bangladesh. Second one, Maitri Power Plant. Maitri Power Plant, 1320 megawatt, 1320 megawatt, supercritical, supercritical, coal-fired, coal-fired thermal power plant. Thermal power plant. Yes, again in another page we have these issues. I'll come there. In this page, this is enough, guys. Nothing much that you need to see. So, uh, none of the other issues are important, guys. Next, quickly, let's get into the editorial aspect of this. See, guys, India 7% plus annual growth and the realities. C. Rangarajan was a very very important person with respect to economy, guys. He was ex RBI governor as well. Definitely his articles are extremely important for us. But this specific article is trying to talk about India is telling that growth rate is 13.5%. But if you see pre-COVID levels and today's levels, it is not up to the mark. That means C. Rangarajan is arguing that India is yet to come back to pre-COVID levels and improve. So when we look at the last 2 years, that is in the COVID years and today's economy, we feel that our economy is improving. But when it comes to 2019 and 2020, and when we check today, our economy has not improved significantly. And then he has given examples with respect to what we call as industries, services in everywhere, whether it has improved or not, guys. And he gives certain suggestions. In economy, we won't be given an opportunity to go for giving suggestions to the government. So don't worry about this particular article. Just remember that whatever numbers that the government is giving is between real GDP and nominal GDP. So if you can try to understand the actual meanings of real GDP and nominal GDP, that must be more than enough. The next most important thing is for Visingam, is this is a port which is present in Kerala, and this port has some economic issues, social issues, and environmental issues. Vinod Thomas is a very important individual as he is director of some of the international organizations. And whenever international organizations are there, they will actually talk about the problems that are faced not only economically but also socially and environmentally. Now, in this particular case, the author is trying to tell us that in Visingam Port of Kerala, one of the major problem is displacement of the people. So, whenever you construct a port, whoever local communities are present in that particular area will be displaced. Unfortunately, in Visingam Port also, displacement is very, very high. Even when there is displacement, the people are not given any good job opportunities, and they are not provided alternative livelihood. Because just imagine, there were three villages, and in all these three villages, people were doing fishing and they were earning money. Unfortunately, today, because of the port development, they cannot get money. So, not only their livelihood is lost, and even their own hometowns will be completely removed. So, this is where the author is trying to argue that it is very, very essential to look after the people who are affected, provide them proper skills, and ensure that they are given other opportunities in a proper manner. This is the first thing. Second most important thing is, remember, in the ports, one of the problem is siltation. The meaning of this is, whenever the sea waves come, they come and deposit the sediments. And when they come and deposit the sediments, big ships cannot come. So I'll just try to show you how it actually works. Now you see this. Here, there is a water level. Now, what is happening? A ship is coming till this particular part. Now, sometimes in this part there may be deposits, guys. And if you have deposits, the ships cannot come beyond this region. So then this region must be removed. That means we need to remove the sand. Why this region is filled with sediments? Because of coastal areas. Now this needs to be removed and it is called as dredging. Removal is called as dredging. So this article is trying to argue with us that proper dredging is not being made, and Visingam Port is actually coming under coastal regulation zones, guys. So in India, coastal environments are protected under coastal regulation zones, and they are biodiversity hotspots as well. That means it is environmentally very important areas, and it is not good for us to disturb that. Not only this, in the last, he also argues that it is responsibility of the polluter to pay for whatever damage that they are actually doing. So, I want you to make a note: issues associated with port development. Issues associated with port development. First point, development of ports is extremely important for for overall development of the country. Overall development of the country. Second point, Singapore, Singapore, Dubai, and Shanghai have developed. Singapore, Dubai, and Shanghai have developed mainly because of advantage of ports. Advantage of ports. Third point, under Sagarmala project, under Sagarmala project, India has also tried. India has also tried to improve improve port connectivity. Port connectivity. Below that you write issues. Displacement of people. Displacement of people without proper livelihood. Without proper livelihood. Second, environmental damage to environmental damage to organisms which are present. To organisms which are present. Third, siltation, erosion, erosion, and accretion. And accretion. Fourth, climate change. Climate change may affect ports. May affect ports. And last point, polluter polluter must be made responsible polluter must be made responsible for pollution. Yeah. So guys, after that, in Indo-Bangladesh, you continue writing. India is assisting. India is assisting Bangladesh. India is assisting Bangladesh with with Maitri thermal power plant. With Maitri power thermal power plant. Next point. India and Bangladesh. India and Bangladesh inaugurated inaugurated Rupsha Rail Bridge. RUPSHA Rail Bridge. Rupsha Rail Bridge, which will connect which will connect Kulna Kulna with Mongla Port. Kulna with Mongla Port and Petrapol in West Bengal. Next point. Mujib scholarships to Mujib scholarships to 200 family members. 200 family members. Next point. Bangladesh plans to Bangladesh plans to modernize its military modernize its military and it has requested India India to provide bridge layer tanks bridge layer tanks, mine protective vehicles mine protective vehicles and other explosives. Next point. Hilsa fish Hilsa fish is is exported to West Bengal as a goodwill gesture. Hilsa fish is exported as a goodwill gesture. See, because most of the Indians, especially West Bengal people, love Hilsa fish, and Bangladesh sends it as a goodwill gesture. Sometimes they use it to stop that you are not giving water and all, but this time they have agreed to provide this Hilsa fish for prelims or some other exams. Like Hilsa fish from which two countries might be asked. So just make a note of it. And guys, the countries of Quad have met, but nothing significant in their talks. Don't worry about it. Yeah, this is very important, guys. African cheetahs. You write in environment. African cheetahs in brackets 10 to 12 young cheetahs imported from Namibia and South Africa. Imported from Namibia and South Africa will be sent to Kunopalpur Forest. Kunopalpur Forest. See, this is very important. Just remember, cheetahs are brought from Africa, and the forest in which it is introduced. So, other issues are not so important, guys. Yeah. Now, guys, Supreme Court asked Punjab Haryana CMs to meet on Satluj Yamuna link canal dispute. See, guys, Satluj River flows through Punjab and Yamuna through Haryana, and many governments have spoken about connecting Satluj River with Yamuna River. Satluj is Indian river entering into Pakistan. But most of the river water is not utilized effectively. So, historically, we had thought that we will connect the water from Satluj to Yamuna River. And for that to happen, I need to cut some land from Punjab and bring that water till Haryana. This will lead to Punjabi farmers losing some land, and most of the Punjabi farmers had given their land, but they are not happy with that, and they are protesting against it right from the beginning. And during Khalistan movement, and also later, many farmers had taken up arms. They had fought against the government for giving their lands. So, Punjab government passed a bill saying that we are not going to give this land to Haryana. We are not going to give our farmers land. And they said this project is not going to work out. But Supreme Court quashed it, saying that it is unconstitutional. And then Supreme Court is arguing that please meet once and try to resolve the dispute, because water is very essential, and it is important for states to come together and discuss about it. So guys, Satluj Yamuna link canal, like Kaveri issue, is always an important issue, guys. And after that, guys, nothing much. Six states to get branches of National Center for Disease Control not required. Fine, you can leave it. Yes, world news, nothing is important except this. Putin attend military drills with China. Others. India has sent an army contingent. So, in your international relations, you just write Vostok 2022. Vostok 2022 is a military exercise between Russia, Russia, China, China, Laos, Laos, Mongolia, Laos, Mongolia, Nicaragua, Nicaragua, and Syria. Vostok 2022, right? Between these countries. India has also sent the troops. India has also sent the troops. Full stop. This exercise, this exercise is conducted. This exercise is conducted in Sea of Japan. Sea of Japan and East China Sea. Sea of Japan and East China Sea. Yes, just remember that Sea of Japan and East China Sea is closer to Japan. That's the reason Japan is not happy with this. So guys, don't worry about this. This is important, nothing much. So In economy, guys, for you, nothing is important. So after that, it's sports. So you can leave it. So, guys, thanks a lot for your patience. I'm trying to quickly read these aspects so that it will be helpful for you. And for people who are looking for, Kannada related content, Rajkumar Academy every week is providing, current affairs issues weekly based in Kannada. You can go through that and try to understand, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. So we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you, guys.